Hi, my name is Varsona, and here's what I think of Street Fighter 6 so far after playing for 20 hours. The menu, the UI, and the lobby all feel clean, welcoming, and have a unified aesthetic, and that really helps to sell me on the world of Street Fighter 6. Another thing that I love to see is character customization in games, and Street Fighter 6 has a very expansive customization system. I am happy and in love with the Street Fighter 6 devs for giving players so many tools. You're gonna see a lot of abominations, and I'm all for it. Once the modders figure out how to replace character costumes with your custom characters, oh man, I am going to be so happy. In terms of clothing options, we were a little bit limited in the closed beta. I expect this to expand as time goes on, so I'm just going to hold off on that for now. I know a lot more is coming. So let's pivot over to the gameplay. This is probably what you've been waiting for, and this is probably my favorite Street Fighter to date in terms of gameplay. Each attack feels weighty, combos feel super satisfying, and the drive system is something that I really enjoy. It adds an extra layer of explosiveness, tension, and resource management that enhances the game to a crazy degree. The drive system is so useful for defensive play that it really changes how you play offensively as well. And what I mean by that is, I noticed that once I got more comfortable with the game, I approached it in a more conservative way where the combo routes I would take, I was trying to be more creative with how I used my drive rushes and my drive impacts, so that way I could reserve meter for when I actually needed it, instead of going all out and trying to do the maximum optimal damage, which of course is pretty normal for fighting games. I just like that it really rewards creative play, because there's a way that you can use drive rush, for example, to do really cool combos without spending all that meter. So there's like a layer of complexity there that I think a lot of fighting game fans will be happy with. And without this meter, everything changes. It's not like, oh no, I don't do as much damage. No, you take chip damage. Every hit you block gives you extra block stun, so that way you can't move as much and you're at the mercy of the enemy. And of course, if you're in the corner, people can just stun combo you and just murder you. And it shows that the developers have put a lot of thought into this, because on its own, your normals and specials are not that great by itself, on hit or on block. But if you land a counter, decide to spend meter on a drive rush, or are employing a block string on a burnt out enemy, then everything makes sense. It seems the dev really want you to use resources and manage your resources, otherwise you will lose out on a lot of advantage, and that is like great. There's always this push and pull that's going on all the time. And the best part is, for most casual people, all of these things that are tied to the drive gauge are visually loud, bombastic, and impactful. It can make somebody feel like they just did something super amazing, and maybe they did, right? And that helps people get into the game a bit more. I'm just glad I studied up on how to counter drive impact beforehand, because it helped me a ton in ranked matches in this game. Speaking of ranked matches, before you can queue up for ranked at all, you have to tell the game what your fighting game experience level is, from beginner, novice, intermediate, and advanced. After that, you do your 10 placement matches and you figure out where you are, where you start. And I really like this system because, one, not everybody starts at 0 LP or at the very bottom. And this is helpful because now you won't have those pro players beating up beginners unless they decide to press beginner, but they don't have a reason to do that because now they have to climb like 10,000 LP to get to gold or platinum or diamond or whatever. And this saves time for everybody. If I am a beginner, I am a novice, I can just say I'm there and then I can work my way up naturally. If I already am intermediate or advanced, I can do my 10 placement matches and figure out where I am, right? If I press advanced and I'm saying, yeah, I'm platinum or better, and I lose all 10 placement matches, of course I will not belong there, and that makes sense. And this helps a lot because Street Fighter 6 has a per character ranked system. By having this questionnaire be filled out like you're an intermediate player, or you're a novice, or you're an advanced, you kind of give yourself a general bracket of skill level before you start your placement matches for whichever character you want to play as. And on both the casual and the competitive side, this saves everybody time. The competitive players can get to their proper rank faster, and the beginner players won't get beat up by a bunch of competitive players who can just press advanced and skip all that. Even as a more casual player, one of my favorite mechanics within the game itself is the drive rush mechanic. It is a mechanic that I can gush about for hours. It gives combat so much flexibility in terms of how you want to approach neutral game, how you want to whiff punish, and also how you combo, because drive rush, augment, and almost have a special property that not only gives you more frame data, but it also helps to extend juggles. That's something most other moves cannot do. Check out some of these amazing clips on some very creative players on screen right now. This stuff looks amazing. Oh, fuck. I'm not going to be able to do most of this stuff, but I still will love watching it, and one day maybe I'll be able to pull off combos like this. And that's something that I've always loved about fighting games, is that I can see people who play it at a crazy level and be like, man, if I can just get to like a fraction of that level one day, I'd be so happy with myself. And I'm really glad they kept the complexity within Street Fighter 6. This is one of those things where, even though you can't utilize it to its full potential, you can appreciate the possibilities that it provides. Here's my question to you. Based on your time watching or playing the Street Fighter 6 closed beta, what are your thoughts on the game? Do you have any concerns you want to bring up so that the community can discuss it, or are you just plain excited for the game? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're down there, support this channel by giving this video a like and consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks. Oh, and also, join my Street Fighter 6 Discord if you're looking for people to play with when the game drops. To summarize, even as a casual player, I was having the time of my life getting the mess beat out of me. It just feels fun to move around, press buttons, and play. My one gripe with the combat system though is the grab range in Street Fighter 6. I think this is more a personal thing. I may be more used to like Guilty Gear Strive or something like that, but I was grabbing people and being grabbed by people at ranges where I didn't think it should reach. Like, I'm like, this is definitely gonna whiff. Well, okay, I just got you. But again, it could just be a me thing, and I just need to adapt. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the Battle Hub. It's something that I've always wanted in fighting games. A hangout spot that's much more involved than arcade cabinets where you just play fighting games. I know it sounds kind of weird to say, yeah, I want a non-fighting game space in a fighting game, but I think that's one of the things that fighting games have been missing for a long time. I know Arc System's been trying to do it for quite a while, and the lobby system in Guilty Gear Strive is somewhat cool, but this feels more feature-rich and full of life. You have tournaments running in the background that you can join in, you have big screens showing people on win streaks, and if you ever wanted a break from actual Street Fighter, you can go into a corner to play Extreme Battles, or you can go into another corner to play arcade cabinets of old-school Capcom games, which I really appreciate. Personally, for me, I don't have any nostalgia attached to these arcade games. I just like the fact that we are able to play old school arcade games with friends online whenever we need a break from the actual fighting of Street Fighter 6. If I made a friend through fighting them various times, I could send them a message, be like, hey, you want to play this other game while we're waiting for something or taking a break? Let's go clear a couple levels of this arcade game. In fighting games, it is important to step away and give your hands a break and your mind a break as well. So this is a good change in tone that I think is understated and overlooked. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it is really hard to create in-game systems to promote a community in a one-on-one fighting game, so I am very happy to see these devs push and spend time and resources working on systems to help foster that community feeling. I did notice in the tabs too that there are clan features already. I hope we get clan costumes and you can make custom rooms. I don't know if there'll be lobbies like Battle Hub or just a list where you just see name tags and you can just ready up. I'm hoping it's like a private room in Guilty Gear Strive, but I doubt it. It would be cool in future expansions to get a room like that, like a clan room and your own room that you can customize with your own furniture and stuff. Gives us more things to spend ride tickets on, so I'm all for it. Overall, there's a ton of quality of life implementation here that makes it fun to be a part of the Street Fighter world, and this is before the World Tour mode itself even is playable. The game feels feature-rich, the moment-to-moment gameplay is very satisfying, and overall, the game and the team behind it has great potential and vision. So whether you're an experienced fighting game player or new to the franchise as a whole, I would definitely say do not skip out on Street Fighter 6. It has been a blast, and this is coming from somebody who hasn't found a character that they really jived with yet. And if you play fighting games, you know that's important, if your character feels right in your hands or not. Anyways, my name is Varsona, these are my thoughts. If you would like an early start into practicing Street Fighter 6, check out this video on screen right now to learn how to deal with drive impact, and you're going to see a lot of it as you play this game. It helps me out a lot. I'm hoping it helps you out as well.